Scripturient! My name is Caitlin Costello, and I am here today with a book review. How is everyone doing today? It is cold and snowy. It was 65 here for like 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden it dropped in temperature and we got hit with like 4 inches of snow. It's sunny now though, but it was so nice. Like, I didn't have to wear a coat for a couple days and it was great. But now winter is back, like, hey, I'm still here. I am here today to talk to you about a book review of Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Ready Player One, if you don't know, is a YA sci-fi book that is soon to be a new movie directed by Steven Spielberg. So I am super excited about that. A little bit about the book. I can just read you the synopsis right off once my phone opens. So, it is the year 2045. Reality is an ugly place. The only time teenager Wade Watts feels really alive is when he's jacked into the virtual utopia known as the Oasis. Wade's devoted his life to studying the puzzles hidden within the world's digital confines. Puzzles that are based on their creator's obsession with pop culture of decades past, and that promises massive power and fortune to whoever can unlock them. When Wade stumbles upon the first clue, he finds himself beset by players willing to kill to take this ultimate prize. The race is on, and if Wade is going to survive, he'll have to win and confront the real world he's always been so desperate to escape. So, that is a pretty vague description. Like, you get some bits, like there's a virtual reality world and these puzzles that he has to solve. So with a bit more background, Halliday was the creator of the Oasis, which is the virtual reality world that Wade lives in. When he died, he left a game within his virtual reality world in which if people solved the clues in the puzzles and figured out where his Easter egg was, they would be granted all of his fortune, including the rights to own the company, the Oasis, which is the world. So there's characters and avatars throughout the game called Gunters who are hunting for this egg. And the main character, Wade, or as his avatar is called, Parzival, is hunting for this Easter egg. He's been hunting for, and everyone have been hunting for 5 years when he stumbles upon this first clue. And he begins the journey of figuring out this puzzle, and when his name is the first name to show up on the leaderboard and everything that comes with that. At the same time, there is a company called IOI that is doing whatever they can to win. They have hacked into the system to make it easier for their players, and they know and have the ability to track down any player even though it is said that it is private. So this is kind of what Wade is up against. I thought that this was a fascinating book. I forget when it came out. Wasn't it like 2010? 2011. It is fascinating when you look at just like the sci-fi elements and the virtual reality and how the physical characters are able to interact with the game. It gave me a lot of ideas for a sci-fi project that I'm working on. So for that aspect, I loved this book. At times it dragged on, but very rarely. And it was one where I feel like if you don't have a lot of pop culture knowledge, it could be a bit boring. I thought it was really cool because a lot of the stuff that they were talking about was from the 80s, and my parents grew up in the 80s, which meant that I grew up on a lot of 80s stuff. You know, like how we're obsessed with 2000s music, they're still obsessed with 80s music and movies and things. That same idea. So it was really cool to see all these connections that I knew and understood, and all the games and things. So all of those different aspects really added up to a really interesting game and book. Another thing that I thought was really interesting is a lot of the times you read a book where it's only one character and it can get to be really boring really fast. Wade didn't really have interactions with other characters that often because he was searching on his own, but it wasn't boring. Like, Cline was able to keep it interesting to the reader to just be in this guy's head as he plays this video game for literally every second of his life that he's not sleeping. It was funny, it was heartbreaking, it really got to you, and that's what made it great. I really didn't have that many issues with it. At times the relationships that were formed felt forced, but I also appreciated the ways that they were used, because they really built up the ways and the motivation for the characters. I loved the openness of the characters and how accepting they were. Again, this is set in a future society, but when it was written, it was when certain things weren't as accepted, and certain ideas were just beautiful and heartbreaking the way that they were used. What did I give it? I dropped my phone. I think I gave it like a 4 stars, but really, if I could, I would give it like a 4.5 stars. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but it's really a 4.5 stars in my heart. I love this book. I think this was the highest rated book so far of 2018. So, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline is a yes from me. So you should definitely go get that. I posted about reading it, and then I saw it the other day in Barnes & Noble with all of its covers, because it's had 3 different covers now. And I'm excited. I don't really know what else to say. I'm excited. It was well crafted, and Will Wheaton read the audiobook, which was just like another nerdy thing. It was great. I loved it. So yeah, I think that's going to be all for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure I talked way too fast. I need to work on that. I haven't really filmed in a while, so gotta get used to talking slower. Whatever. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you've read the book, leave a comment down below of what you thought of it, and I will see you in the next one. All of my social media links will be down below. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. Not Snapchat. I was going to say Snapchat, but I don't have a Snapchat. Instagram and Twitter. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!